so handsome as you scored that last touchdown.
Oh, I know I did.
You sure did. Hey, who's that guy over there?
It's that bookworm, Steve Ditko.
He looks like he needs to eat something.
Puny. He looks absolutely puny.
Well, we do need one more guy for the dance. Why don't we ask Ditko?
Are you kidding me? That loser wouldn't know the difference between a cha-cha and a waltz.
Steve Ditko. He's Johnstown High's only professional wallflower.
He's coming over.
Don't let him touch me.
Betty?
Steve?
Hi, are you busy later tonight?
Steve, for the umpteenth time, you're just not my type. Not when there's dreamboats like Tom Flash around.
I admire your good taste. Now get lost, bookworm.
Steven!
Mom? Dad?
Stevie, I'm so glad you're home. I need your favorite wheat cakes.
I'm not hungry, Mom.
Let's try that again. I made wheat cakes.
Okay.
Don't fatten him too much, honey. I can hardly wrestle him now.
We saved up some money too.
You can't tell your brother or sister.
What's going on?
We bought you a telescope.
A telescope.
What you were asking for.
You guys can't afford that.
Oh, we found a way.
You're the greatest family a fella ever had.
You always remember us this way.
I don't know.
Maybe it's because you read too many comic books.
I love them.
They're all over the newspapers too.
Will Eisner's The Spirit, Batman, Dick Tracy.
All great.
I love them too. Say, what's your favorite?
Prince Valiant by Hal Foster.
Prince Valiant.
Yes.
What do you like about it?
The adventures. The story. The art.
Of course.
I'm hopeful.
About?
I hope to be able to draw that well someday.
Maybe you will.
I'm just a small, tiny speck in the universe. What can I do?
Even the smallest speck can change everything as we know it.
Do you believe that?
We do.
Why?
You're stronger than you know. Remember that.
I'm stronger than I know. I'm stronger than I know.
No, you're not. Tom Flash! Curse you, Tom Flash!
You enlisted in the army?
You're going to die out
What
there!
do you have to say for yourself?
I enlisted in the army.
You're going to die out there!
Thanks for believing in me.
It's not that. We love you. It's just that
You're so frail. You're not as equipped as some of the other boys out there. It's those comic books, those cartoons. They make you think you're stronger than you are.
Aren't you guys the ones that said I'm stronger than I know?
I wasn't talking physically, Steve.
You're going to die out there.
Steven, you're just out of high school. We don't want you to die.
This world needs heroes.
Don't die.
You're not listening to me. Why don't you ever listen to me?
We don't understand you.
Don't forget to pack your toothbrush.
You'll see. I'm going to matter. I'm going to be a hero.
And if they shoot at you, duck.
Or run in the opposite direction.
I'll miss you both.
Welcome to the Army, Private Ditko! Do you know what date it is?
Yes, sir!
It's October 24th, 1945! Do you know why that date is significant, Private Ditko?
It's almost Halloween, sir!
No, you sniveling pile of pus! It's not because it's almost Halloween! It's because the war has been over for nearly 6 months, you idiot! Did no one tell you that?
I'm going to draw, sir!
You're going to do what?
I wanted to fight, but the war ended. So I'm going to draw.
Tell me, Private Ditko, do you think of yourself as being too good for this army?
No, sir, I do not.
It's everything above the shoulders, Ditko. This whole area here, I don't like it.
Thank you, sir.
So, you're an artist, Private Ditko?
Sir, yes, sir.
And what are you planning from Germany.
Sir,
Oh yes, Private Ditko. There's an army newspaper out there looking for a cartoonist. I think you'd be the one to fit the bill perfectly there, Ditko.
thank you, sir.
Your cartoons better be great, Ditko. I expect perfection. I want them to be funny, intelligent, thought-provoking. Can you do that, Private Ditko?
Sir, yes, sir!
There had better be, or I will have you court-martialed. Now, get out of here.
Thank you, General Jameson.
Oh, one more thing, Ditko. Why don't you go out and clean the trees? I want to be able to see my face in that poopy water.
Yes, sir.
Now get out of here, Ditko. And I want pictures. Pictures of the enemy, Ditko.
So, you were in the army for 4 years.
Just about.
What are you going to do now?
I'm still figuring that out. Maybe I'll see the world.
Maybe you and I could go out on a date.
Betty, I would love to, but I have a lot going on right now.
I get it. It's just,
Yes?
well, I'd like to.
Honestly, Betty, I would love to take you out and to court you and to eventually marry you. But I have to establish my work in the art field first.
Oh, well, maybe some other time.
Okay,
You'll figure it out.
I'm hopeful.
Why don't you go back to school?
School?
Yes, use the GI Bill and go back to school.
I'll look into it.
Will you take me out on a date now?
Betty, I would love to. I don't know if I have the time. I'm going back to school after all.
Well, I guess I'll go and see if Ned is available.
You two have fun.
And you?
I found a school. My idol was even one of their teachers,
Who?
Jerry Robinson.
Who's Jerry Robinson?
Oh, he's one of the best Batman artists who ever lived. He's teaching a class at the Cartoonist and Illustration School. There's only one problem. I'll have to move to New York City.
Scary.
Yes,
You should do it.
maybe. Would you like to talk about it over dinner?
Can't. I have plans. I might even marry this guy. Be well, Steve.
Maybe I'm destined to be alone.
What are you babbling about over there?
Oh, nothing, just contemplating.
No time to contemplate. There's only time to create. And then create some more.
You're Jerry Robinson.
You're the one and only.
Steve Ditko.
Oh, Mr. Ditko, I'm guessing you're here for my class.
Yes, I'm very excited to start.
Can I see your portfolio?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, dear. Oh, no.
What is it?
Here, let me help you out.
What are you doing?
Helping you out.
Like throwing away my work?
Yeah, it was easier than burning it.
This is everything I ever had.
Time to start fresh. I see a lot of young kids come in thinking they're professionals. They're not. They're not even close. Much like you. It's going to be hard work day in, day out. The only way you can make it is to put that amount of work in. So what do you say, Mr. Ditko?
Mr. Robinson, I promise to put the work in.
You will?
Yes,
It's going to be a lot more work than you think.
I'll do it.
Okay, then. So, your last name really Ditko?
Yes.
Is that Slavic? Oh, what is it?
It's
Well, is it short for Dickowitz? What is it?
Is this part of the course?
Put the work in.
What should I focus on?
Well, everything. Anatomy, composition, expressions, figure drawing. If you want it, then it can be yours.
I want it.
Of course you do. You're here 4 or 5 nights a week. For 4 or 5 hours a night. You're, determined.
This is all I've ever wanted. Here, look.
Oh, not bad. Well, learning. And you work well with other writers. You can create your own material fairly well. You also have the ability to create new characters.
My first year here is almost up. I don't think I can stay.
Oh, money?
Yes.
Have you thought about a scholarship here?
Would I qualify?
Yeah, I can put it through for you.
You would do that.
Oh, yeah, might have what it takes.
What's in store for class today?
No, we have a visitor. He actually works in the comic book field.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I pulled a few strings. Here he comes now.
Hello there.
Class, let me introduce you to our guest speaker for the day, Mr. Stan Lee.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Stan here works for Atlas Comics, formerly Timely Comics. Stan, can you tell us a bit of what's going on in the comic book field these days?
Well, comic books have fallen out of fashion. It's true. Right now we're shifting our focus away from superheroes. We're doing some horror comics, some war comics, romance, humor, you name it. It pays the bills. Whichever way the wind blows, that's the direction we'll go in. And now, if Jerry tells me some of you would like me to look at your artwork, come on up.
Mr. Lee?
Come on, call me Stan.
Hi, I'm Stan. Would you take a look at my work?
That's what I'm here for, son. What's your name?
Steve Ditko.
Steve Ditko. Slippery Steve.
Why are you calling me that? I'm not slippery. I don't oil slick on it.
That's just something I do. I come up with names. I'm a writer. That's what I do.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Right. Now, let's have a look. I'm afraid you're at a bit of a disadvantage.
How so?
You're not from New York.
No, I'm from
And you're
Johnson.
certainly not Jewish.
No, I'm
And like I said, you're at a bit of a disadvantage.
That makes sense.
Yeah, some bad habits. I mean, it's young. This figure drawing needs some work.
I'm getting there.
If you can break free of those habits, son, give me a call.
Really?
You need more style, kid. Sell me. Make me want to buy your stuff. Show me something I've never seen before. Do that, and I think you'll have a shot. Keep practicing while I'm off. I'll talk to you soon, Smiling Steve.
I wasn't smiling.
You can draw for comic books. Just keep working.
If I lose my bad habits,
I lost mine. You just have to draw every moment you get.
every second I can spare.
And you'll get better.
I do.
Yeah, slightly.
I'll take it.
And that'll help you.
With submitting my work.
Yeah, I never had any doubts.
You're the best teacher I ever had.
And you got a job.
At Stanmore Publications.
I had nothing to do with that company.
It's a good break!
It was almost a year ago that Stan Lee was here.
I'm proud of you.
I think I'm going to stay in school.
Wait, what?
Even though I'm getting professional work, I'm going to stay on. Give back for as long as I can. You changed my life, Gary.
Tell me about your first job.
Well, it was a story called Stretching Things. It wasn't published until 1954 in the comic book Fantastic Fears, issue number 5. My first published work was in 1953. It was the second book I was commissioned to draw. It was a story called Paper Romance in the comic book Daring Love number 1 from Crestwood Publications.
And you just kept going from there.
I broke into the comic book field.
But no superheroes, as of yet.
No. They weren't very popular at the time. The Batman, the Spirit, those are the heroes I looked up to.
Were you enjoying yourself?
I was happy. Sure, I was interpreting other people's works. But I was amazed. Opportunities kept opening up.
That's incredible, isn't it? You also got some work at Charlton Comics.
I loved it there.
And that's when he decided to come work for us.
Not yet! Back in your hole!
I started working for Mort Meskin at the studio of Jack Kirby and Joe Simon. You know, the pair who created Captain America. Pages were just flying off my table.
Until you contracted tuberculosis. Wait, really? Tuberculosis? That's what stopped you? You should eat more of those goddamn wheat cakes, Steve.
Maybe.
Well, you had to go back home. Hey,
Take care, Steve.
Stevie! No! Steve!
You're welcome to stay for as long as you like.
I want to get going as soon as possible.
Stevie, you look so frail. Can I make you a sandwich?
No, thank you.
You have to eat. Keeps your bones strong. I'll make wheat cakes.
Tuberculosis affects the lungs, not the bones.
Well, you still have to eat to stay strong. That includes the lungs.
You need to take care of yourself.
I don't know what we'd do if we lost you.
This is a low point.
I'm sure it is. You can stay as long as you need.
You need to take care of yourself.
I need to work.
Stephen,
Son, you need to rest until you're better. You can stay here for as long as you like. Heal first, then conquer the world.
Okay,
Good. Now sit down and let us take care of you.
I let you.
You do.
I get better.
You're going to leave us. The last time.
Thank you both for raising me. Now it's time to become a man.
Go get him, son.
is it time for me yet?
Sure, come on in.
It's about time.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hi, Stanley.
Yes, we met before.
We did?
Yes, Jerry Robinson's class.
I don't remember that. Are you sure?
Positive. Smiling Steve. Slippery Steve. You don't remember.
I must have been brain dead that day. What's your name, son?
Steve Ditko.
Ditko. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
And welcome to Atlas Comics. What do you think of our staff?
I like Charlton better.
You're funny. That's good.
I wasn't joking.
There it is, that classic Ditko sense of humor.
Classic, we don't know each other.
You said we met before, true believer.
True believer, what are you insinuating by this?
Call everyone that.
Ah, so you don't remember me.
Perhaps I did.
Remember me.
Yes,
Then why would you lie?
to keep you on your toes.
So a game.
By no means.
Then what?
Everyone needs to be kept on their toes. Not a game, just that.
I guess I better be then.
Better be what?
On my toes around you.
Right, quite so. And tell me, are you excited about being here?
Yes, very much so.
Good, be excited, because in 10 years, comic books may cease to exist.
Why?
We are in a dying industry, and it's up to us to save it.
Sounds good to me.
I'm editing a book. I think you'd be the perfect artist for one of the scripts. It's a 4-page story called There'll Be Some Changes Made. We here at Atlas would like you to draw it.
Where would it appear?
In the comic book Journey into Mystery, issue number 53 to be exact. It's very exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, very exciting. Every time a story is drawn, every time a story is written, each time I feel like a kid again. Every day I wake up thinking I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I get to help create the final product of every comic book in this company. And that's damn exciting.
But you didn't do anything.
I didn't.
No, you let me make up the story that you just came in after and put the dialogue in. Which I love.
Of course you did.
The story came out great.
Which one?
The one I drew.
Right, well, wonderful. Would you like to draw some more?
Absolutely.
Well, let's do it, but first let me ask you. Are you content just drawing Journey into Mystery?
I would be content if you let me draw everything I can handle in a month.
I like your style, kid. Both artistically and personally.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Stan! My friends call me Stan.
Are we friends?
Of course we are! Classic Ditko! You really got something sturdy, Steve. You might even last in this field.
Do you really think comic books are a fad?
I misspoke.
Did you?
Now, I don't want to be the one predicting doom and gloom.
No, please, be the one.
A few years ago, Frederick Werther wrote that book, Seduction of the Innocent. And that was the catalyst for the Comic Code Authority to be formed. Superheroes were out. Instead, they were replaced by romance comics, horror comics, war comics, and our market shrunk.
I noticed there have been a lot of layoffs lately.
Oh yes, and more to come. Hell, I myself might not even survive that chopping block.
But you're Stan Lee.
I'm Stanley Lieber, but I shortened it to Stan Lee. Martin Goodman, our publisher, great guy, solid guy. Doesn't know what he's doing most of the time, but solid guy. And I'm not just saying that because he's married to my cousin. He had me lay off a lot of people. I hated doing it. Things are getting worse and worse.
Are you laying me off, Stan?
Me? No. But I might not be able to give you any work for a few months.
Why?
I'm in a bit of trouble. My cousin's husband messed up all the distribution deals, and when he did, I went and bought some comic strips and put the artwork in a closet. Well, my cousin-in-law found the closet. And now I have to publish these before I can commission any new work. Like 6 months or so.
Well, I can always get work at Charlton.
We should just leave this business. We're getting killed out there. All the genres we're trying are dying.
Did you see?
What?
DC brought back the Flash. I picked this up the other day. They're trying superheroes again.
Who cares?
It's pretty good. Maybe superheroes can make a comeback.
He'll shut us down before that.
Martin?
In addition to comics, he publishes men's magazines and paperback books. Comics are just a small part of his business.
How do we save it?
We don't.
Are you crying?
They're moving out the furniture.
Take it easy, Stan.
I can't, it's all going to hell.
I heard they're moving the office furniture out.
Yes, they are.
What are you gonna do about it?
Jack, come back. Steve, this is Jack Kirby. He used to work for us 15 years ago. Jack, come back, save the company.
Stan, calm down. Get yourself together.
They're moving out the furniture.
Yes, I see that. Hello, Steve.
Jack?
What do you say, Steve? Shall we save Atlas Comics, you and I?
Why not?
Why not, indeed. I'll start today. Let's make some comics.
Good man, we got Jack back. Now this is what I need us to do. Steve, I need you to draw some backup stories.
So I'm hired again.
You were never fired.
What kind of stories?
I don't know, make something up.
No guidance?
Whatever you want. Martin has me running the art department, the marketing. I'm doing everything from loading the trucks to cleaning the ladies' bathrooms. Steve, I've never finished a full script with any of the artists I work with. You know this. You've worked with me. You and Kirby are the same. You can draw and write your own stories. Martin thinks in addition to everything else I do, I'm the writer too. And Steve, they're moving out the furniture. And Martin's a cheapskate. We're on a shoestring. What if I just give you a sentence or two?
A sentence or two?
Yeah, make it up. You can do it. You've done it. I'll just add in the dialogue as usual.
Well, what sentence?
Aliens land on Earth.
I can work with anything you give me. It won't take me long. Here.
These are amazing, Steve. How do you do it?
It's what I see.
I'm very impressed.
What are you doing?
I'm writing you another sentence.
So you want me to do the same thing? Draw the story and create and make it up as I go?
Yes. Stan the man approves.
Stan the man.
I'm trying some things out, see how they sound. It sounds stupid, right?
I didn't say anything. Here.
What are these?
Another one of your one sentences. Another fully fleshed out story all drawn up.
You are amazing, Steve.
We do this for quite a while, don't we?
We do.
The 1950s are coming to a close.
Jack helped us out. We got a little boost.
Not enough.
The company's still here.
I go over to Charlton to create Captain Atom, a superhero. Marvel still did not want to do superheroes.
Yes, superheroes. DC is killing us.
It's the 1960s. They're making history. The Justice League of America debuts.
We need a lot of help.
You called?
Superheroes! Our company needs one!
Finally! I've been saying it for years.
Create something, please!
I have an idea. A team book. We can bring in the Human Torch team.
I'm leaving comics.
What? Why?
If you're around long enough, kid, comics will break your heart.
A is A.
What?
It's the law of identity. Things just are.
What are you talking about?
I've been working on something too.
Is this about Anne Rind?
Yes, Ayn Rand. I've been reading her books.
I love her stories. Extraordinary circumstances, dramatic situations. Imagine applying those concepts to superheroes.
Yes, that would be amazing. Imagine putting the philosophies right into the comics themselves.
I'm talking about the bombastic approach. Anyway, it's just a thought. I think I'll be quitting after I script whatever Jack comes up with.
Are you sad?
Yes. I just turned 40. Time to move on.
We should celebrate.
It was a good run.
This is really it for you, isn't it? How long have you been in the field?
Over 20 years. I was a young boy when I first started in comics. Not at all like the man I am today.
What are you going to do after this?
Not sure. I'll figure it out.
I'm sure you will.
I wonder what Jack has for us. What do you got, Jack?
I call it the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. The title of my last comic book.
What, you're quitting?
He's done with comics.
Now let me figure this out.
How are you going to figure it out?
It's like a crossword puzzle. I just look at the images and connect them. This one will be about the Cold War. It'll be my swan song.
Hey, kid.
Well, I better get to work on the synopsis for the next one.
I thought you quit.
I don't want to leave Martin in a lurch.
You have to do what you have to do.
By leaving Martin in a lurch?
What do you care?
Martin's married to my first cousin. She'd kill me if I leave him anywhere near a lurch.
I see.
I got a letter for Mr. Lee. Oh, Mr. Goodman.
She tried shoe shining. What came down to my comic books? Get out of here!
See ya.
What is it?
Not sure.
Open it.
It's fan mail.
It's a hit.
It's looking like it.
You and Jack did it.
Yes, I did.
Congratulations.
I never doubted myself.
I'm sure you didn't.
What to do next? I think I know. Of course I do. I'm Stan the Man after all.
You're keeping the name.
I'd rather like it. This is just the beginning, Steve.
Of
Everything.
everything.
After this, I create more characters. Iron Man, the Hulk, Thor, the X-Men. It's amazing how quickly I come up with them. I create the Marvel method of writing, using what I've always done. I can get Kirby and the rest of them as little as one sentence over the phone, and they come up with the entire thing. I just fill it in, like a crossword puzzle. Sometimes I don't know what the hell's going on in the work, I just make up what I think it should be.
But if Jack draws them, conceptualizes them from nothing and creates them, and then you just come in after to put dialogue on, didn't Jack create them?
No.
Oh, well, maybe you both did, like you both created them.
You're cute. No, I created them. We all know this.
But Stan, you know that
Steve, I created them, and that's all there is to it.
they're all huge successes. The Marvel Comics takes off.
I couldn't have imagined it. Or maybe I did.
You had me on Amazing Adult Fantasy.
And Kirby was doing a great job. And you were too. But Jack, man, his covers were powerful. And he could do everything except...
Except,
There is a new character. I'll have Jack pencil and ink it.
of course, Stan, what is it this time?
I feel there's a need to appeal to teenagers. Teenagers are buying books. So he'd have to be a teenager.
Of course. So a teenage superhero. What's his name?
Spider-Man.
Not Spider-Boy?
I don't want him to be inferior to the other superheroes.
Understood.
I love the name Hawkman from DC, so it would be like that, except Spider. Martin doesn't want me to do it.
Forget him.
Absolutely. Eventually he'll agree to it in the newly renamed Amazing Fantasy, issue number 15.
That series has been canceled.
Exactly. No one is looking. There's one more problem. I hate what Jack is doing with it.
What's wrong with it?
It's too heroic. Can you do something with it?
I can't.
Good, you have a few days. I'll be back. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some more crossword puzzles to do. Shazam!
Hi, Steve.
Eric Stan, fetish artist, what are you doing here?
We shared a studio space in the late 50s and most of the 60s. We went to art school together.
I know, I was just kidding around.
What do you have going there?
An assignment.
An assignment? Hell,
Well, I have most of it figured out. It's a comic book character called Spider-Man.
Spider-Man? Sounds stupid.
Well, it's an idea that Jack Kirby came up with that they aren't using.
Jack Kirby? I love Jack Kirby.
I know you do. I have what he came up with.
It's too heroic. That's definitely not it.
I know. But I have an idea.
Well, show me. You're covering up his face.
Exactly. He can be anyone that way.
I want to know who he is. Who is he?
I'm not going to tell you. That's the exact point.
Oh, Ditko, you devil. What about the ray gun in the Kirby drawer? It's kind of dumb.
I know. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to have the weapon come out of his arm.
Here. Make them a device.
Yeah, great idea. Let me just fix that. Finish the costume. Fix the eyes. And red, black, and blue. And there you go.
That's weird. And this is coming from a guy who draws fetish art for a living.
Now I just have to write the story. 11 pages. Stan gave me a sentence to go on. 11 pages. It's missing something.
What? You always be a bookworm.
He's a total square.
He's an outsider, quiet, almost non-existent. He's just like you, Steve. He is you. You're Spider-Man. Underneath it all, you're Spider-Man.
I use my personal life. Me as a teenager. I make the lead character me. Peter Parker is me.
You're a loser, Parker. I mean, you're a loser, Ditko.
This is going to work.
You seem confident.
I'm making my destiny happen. I do my pages. Now it's time to give them to Stan.
Great. When you get back, would you help me color this?
Absolutely. Nothing like coloring drawings to gain bondage to finish my workday.
Bondage. You're a great friend.
It's brilliant!
Really?
Amazing work. I just didn't like the cover. I had Jack draw up a new one. You can ink it.
Great. How was it received?
When it debuts, overwhelmingly positive, my friend. It was our bestseller for the month.
That's amazing.
It is, and that's what we're going to call the new title. The Amazing Spider-Man. You see the stuff I come up with?
A new title.
Yes, will you draw it?
Yes, I have ideas.
Of course you do.
Have you considered putting the philosophies of Ayn Rand into a comic book?
What?
You like her books as much as I do.
I like the stories, not the philosophies. If I said it before, I said it a million times. Readers want action, drama, excitement. They don't want to be preached to.
I'm not talking about preaching. I'm talking about entertaining in a new way.
Steve, we have a good thing going here. Now come on. There's a new character we need to develop for the first issue. He's called the Chameleon.
And so it went. Issue after issue, I created new characters. You would give me a sentence like, Spider-Man fights Dr. Octopus, or Spider-Man fights the Green Goblin, and I would create an entire issue based just on that. Then, after I drew it, you would rewrite it, or how did you put it? You would do your crossword puzzles. After a while, I started to realize I was actually co-writing the stories, just like Jack was.
No, you're not. You draw, you come up with images. I put the words to it, therefore I am the writer.
But Stan, I made these stories up. You have no idea what's going to happen in them.
Yes, but I gave you the sentence, therefore I am the writer.
I designed these characters. Make them live, breathe. Peter Parker, he's me. It's my life on a world stage. It's my life.
Congratulations, you're a hit.
I have another idea.
I love ideas. Is it commercial? Only kidding. Well, what's the idea?
A sorcerer.
Forget it.
Why?
A sorcerer? Come on, Steve.
Look at the image I drew.
I like the visual. We need a filler story for Strange Tales. Draw it up for that and I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
That was quick.
I'm passionate.
Certainly. The story is average at best.
But you're going to print it.
I'm going to write a letter to Jerry Bale's fandom club there. I'm going to say, 'twas Steve's idea and we thought we'd give him a chance, although we had to rush the first issue anyway.
We could call it something strange.
Mr. Strange. That's too close to Mr. Fantastic. Doctor Strange. We had a Doctor Strange in the comics recently. If there's any confusion, it's on you.
I like the name Doctor Strange. It's great.
I'm sure they'll make a movie about him someday, and I'll get a cameo.
I go wild with the illustrations.
Crazy landscapes, dynamic visuals.
I would just draw what was in my head.
People thought you were on drugs.
That's funny.
Are you on drugs, Steve?
I've never taken a drug before in my life.
Well, maybe you should stop. Can you imagine what you would draw then?
No, thank you.
That's right. You're a straight arrow, just like me. And Dr. Strange was getting some notice from some unexpected places.
You're telling me college kids eat it up. They connect to it.
Sometimes I have no idea what I'm creating until others discover it. I have no idea how my work will be received.
'Twas Steve's idea.
And it was.
You really don't believe that, do you?
Sure I do. As it is, as it was.
You know what I'm talking about.
I honestly don't, Steve.
Yes, you do. Everything is either black or it's white.
You and your Randian philosophy.
No, Stan, it's not. But I'm sure you would like it to be about that. You know, for dramatic effect.
Steve the Superior Ditko. I should stop calling you that.
Go ahead. While you're at it, I want writing credit for Spider-Man.
What? Unheard of.
You're Stan the Man Lee. You can make anything happen.
And how would I do that?
Do what you always do. Imagine it up.
Very funny, Steve.
You like that one? I put it together like a crossword puzzle. I want my writing credit, Stan.
People already know.
I don't think they do. They need to see it in print. A is A.
What is all this A is A nonsense?
I told you before. It's the law of identity. Everything that exists has a specific nature. Each entity exists as something in particular and has characteristics that are a part of what make it what it is.
You lost me.
I want my writing credit. I'm resolved to get it.
You're making money.
It's inconsequential. I want reality as it's meant to be, not as we imagine it.
Imagination is better.
Things are or they aren't. There is only black or white.
I'll see what I can do, Steve.
I only want what is right. Spider-Man would agree with me. Do you?
I talked to Martin. I think
Yes.
we can give you a credit.
A writing credit.
A plotted by credit.
I accept it.
Okay, then starting with issue number 25, you'll start receiving credit for plotting.
Thank you, Stan.
You realize, of course, this is unprecedented.
It's what is right. Thank you for pushing.
You're uniquely talented. I like you. And while I might not agree with your crazy philosophies, I'm glad that you have them.
I appreciate that.
I work hard, you know.
I'm not saying you don't.
I think you may have.
Well, that's your ego talking.
I disagreed politely.
Well, I disagree with that.
There's a revolution happening. These kids are becoming hippies.
I hope the cops lock them up.
I love them.
Then maybe you should be locked up with them.
Is that what Unrand would do?
I think she'd agree with me.
She sounds like fun. We should have her down to the bullpen for a day.
Your scripts aren't matching what I'm drawing.
They're not? I think they're coming out very well.
Well, I disagree respectfully.
What is it you want, Steve?
I want you to tell me. Who do you think created Spider-Man?
That's easy. I did, of course.
You did.
Unquestionably.
Well, what about the look? The visuals, the characters? Did you draw those up as well?
I'm not understanding the question. Let's get some lunch.
I asked you a question, Stanley Lieber.
What's your deal, Ditko?
I don't have a deal. Nothing is compromised.
Oh, that's right. You just have black or white. Black or white. That's simple. Except the world isn't just black or just white. You take everything too seriously. Comics are a party. You're here with us. We want you to enjoy yourself.
I just want to work and get the credit I've earned.
Of course. And let's talk about your successes. Doctor Strange really caught on. I knew it would. It was almost like you were doing black magic, Steve.
I put a lot of thought into what another world would look like. This is just what comes out of my head.
I record a record about the Marvel officers.
I refuse to be on it.
I know you would have hated.
You could have at least asked.
Pretty sure I did. Maybe I didn't. Now, on the record I said, here is Steve Ditko drawing away. Steve is so quiet and unassuming, you might think that he is Spider-Man.
You never understood.
What didn't I understand?
I see you out there, acting like you're a movie star, like you did it all yourself. Spider-Man, I created half of it. Nothing more, nothing less.
I don't accept that. The idea came into my head, therefore I am the creator. No, Spider-Man would not have been the same without you. But facts are facts. Steve, you act like I'm working against you.
You are.
That's not true.
Change my story, Stan.
You haven't spoken to me in a year.
I work for a living.
So do I.
The Marvel offices are too far.
What do you want me to do, move them?
They're 17 blocks from my studio.
Well, why don't you get some strength from onion rind and walk over?
I do. Once a month, drop off my pages. I met her, you know.
I can tell. She gave you her sense of humor.
Laugh. Go ahead. She changed my life.
That's great, Steve.
You haven't spoken to me in over a year.
That's because you're impossible.
You want Spider-Man to have flaws? That's fine while he was in high school. So leave him in high school.
No.
Then he should be a flawless hero. I'm going to start drawing him that way.
I'll just write him with flaws.
Of course. You ignore my art. You turn its intent into something it's not supposed to be.
These are comic book characters!
No, Spider-Man is John Gall from Atlas Shrugged. He is Prometheus.
Steve, we're going to raise your page rate by $5.
I don't want it.
You're going to make a ton of money!
And watch my characters burn. I raised him, cared for him, What did you do?
That's not true.
It is. A can only be A. A can never be B. Things can only be what they are. My art is A. You are B.
This is why we don't talk.
No, we don't talk because you are trying to sabotage me.
I'm not.
I heard. I heard you were giving John Romita a tryout to take my place.
That's a lie.
I'm going to quit. Once my mind's made up, there's no changing it.
Fine. Do it. And I'll just replace you with John Romita.
I thought you weren't replacing me.
I'm not. I'm just keeping on my toes.
I won't let you have the satisfaction.
I don't want this.
One day, I go over to the Marvel offices.
We make a brilliant team.
I drop off all of my remaining artwork.
I thought you were my friend.
I tell them I resign.
Please don't.
I'll never draw Spider-Man or Doctor Strange ever again.
Steve, think this over.
You sabotaged me! It's okay. I'm going to put all this on a shelf. And when the new year comes, it'll be nothing but a memory.
No.
A happy memory I can't remember.
Reconsider!
I'll never work for you again, you old skin flint.
You're a tough cookie. Even my ulcers have ulcers.
You must be happy.
No, Steve. I'm heartbroken.
Why would you leave?
Figure it out. I wish you well.
So it ends. This chapter of my life. Now's a good time to take a break before the rest. Right at the time I stopped working at Marvel Comics. Right at the time I stopped working with Lee. Because with great power comes great responsibility. Remember that. Facts. Fiction. Who created what? Face front, true believers. Judge for yourself.
Steve,
Miss Wren,
it's good to meet with you again.
Misty out there today.
It looks like one of your Doctor Strange comics out there.
I don't draw that comic book anymore.
I know.
I wrote some questions down.
Throw them away.
Throw them away.
Let's just sit here and enjoy the day. I'd quite like some cake. Wouldn't you?
Cake.
Yes. Chocolate.
I like chocolate.
Who doesn't? Me, on the other hand. People hate me, Steve.
Why?
I don't care.
I see. People hate me too. They think I'm difficult.
Do you think you're difficult?
I think I have opinions.
Strong opinions.
Yes.
That's good.
Created a new character?
For the comic books.
Yes. I call him Mr. A. With Mr. A, there is no gray. There's only black or white. He's a character that will promote good, healthy, intellectual choices.
Stephen, that sounds wonderful.
If you have any input you'd like to offer, let me know.
Try it well. But you seem to have that under control.
Thank you. I'm fully immersed in your philosophies now.
I know. You come see me speak whenever I'm here in New York City.
I've learned so much.
A is A. Facts are facts, independent of man's feelings or wishes. Reason is man's only means of perceiving reality, his only source of knowledge, his only guide to action, his only means of survival. You must exist for your own sake, Stephen.
I have to. I refuse to be an afterthought.
The pursuit of our own happiness and self-interest is of the highest moral purpose of life.
I do get angry sometimes.
I know. No man may obtain values from others by resorting to physical force. No man may initiate physical force against others. The government should only police and protect a man's life.
Imagine if the whole world believed what we do.
It would be a utopia. A new world order, indeed. So, you left Marvel Comics.
I went back to Charlton to work on Captain Atom.
You created him in 1959.
I did. I never got to work on him quite the way I wanted to before.
You also created new characters like the Question and the Blue Beetle.
Yeah. Both were a lot of fun. I was having a good time drawing them.
Tell me more about this Mr. A.
Well, he was a lot like the Question. Some would even say they were identical, except Mr. A was pure. Black or white, day or night, Mr. A was clear about where he stood.
I liked your first Mr. A strip.
You read it?
Oh yes, Wits End #3. Big fan.
Thank you.
You spoke about objectivism in a very smart way. Who would have thought through a comic book?
I attempted to put in some of the philosophies with the Question. It had less of an impact.
You still were doing immaculate art.
Funny enough, as soon as I left Marvel, my popularity soared.
You placed first in a comics awards poll in 1967. You beat out illustrators such as Jack Kirby, Wally Wood, Frank Frazetta, and Al Williamson.
I don't believe in awards. It's all subjective. How would I know what prompted one individual to vote me over another? A metric would have to be established, tested with science. It doesn't work presently, so it doesn't interest me. Instead, I focused on my work, and my editor at Charlton, Dick Giordano, kept me busy.
Steve, it's so good to see you.
Hi, Dick.
Steve, the comic books you're turning in, they're fabulous. You know, you're at the top of your game.
I'm happy to be here.
DC Comics reached out to you.
Yes, to create new characters.
They were as big a company as Marvel.
I'm going to take it.
You should. You've earned it.
Where are you going?
Check on my piece of cake. It hasn't come yet. Plus, I don't feel like watching what's about to happen.
What's about to happen?
So, you're at DC Comics now, Steve.
Yes, I'm creating 2 new comic book series.
That's great. What are they called?
Beware the Creeper and Lock and Dove.
They sound interesting.
I'm happy with the way they're developing. Dick, there's an editorial position opening up at DC.
There is?
I thought of you. You do a great job here at Charlton editing comics. They're interested in talking with you.
You spoke to them for me?
You should take the job, Dick. It'll be a good move.
I do it.
Good for you.
And as luck would have it, I turned out to be the editor on both of your titles.
I was happy just to be in good hands.
It started off well.
The writer on Hawk and Dove, Steve Skates, he has to go.
He's who you wanted.
His politics are getting in the way.
And your philosophies are getting in yours.
The world needs to know what I believe in. They need to be informed.
This isn't Mr. A, Steve.
The writer is wrong.
Yeah? Well, I'm siding with him.
Then I have to leave the book.
No, Steve, don't.
You act like this is the first time I left the comic book.
Hawk and Dove is supposed to be entertaining.
And Skates is terrible. He once wrote me a story to draw starring The Question. In it, The Question calls a villain friend. Like, you have done bad things, friend. The question would never call somebody evil friend.
Yeah, I heard, yeah. Skates told me. He told me that you wrote him a 6-page letter on the subject.
I know, I was too brief. I don't think he got the point.
I think he might have.
I'm leaving Hawk and Dove. And beware the creeper as well.
Why?
You've taken away my plotting duty.
Because you keep putting objectivism into your comic.
The world needs to know.
People just want to be entertained, Steve. They don't want to hear Aunt Ryan's viewpoints on our world.
And you make that decision for them.
Yes.
I'm done here.
You're beating people over the head, Steve.
And you are closing your eyes to the world. Pretending there are things that do not exist. These things, you see them, Dick. They're right in front of you. You just refuse to identify what they are.
Look, Steve, your views are respected.
Do you remember our last fight?
I do.
The writer, Danny O'Neill, wrote me that script for that ex-criminal.
Yeah, you wrote a note on Danny's script. You wrote a note on the front page of Danny's script. You wrote, "There is no such thing as ex-criminal. Once you've committed a crime, you're a criminal for life."
And you are.
You shouldn't have done that.
What? Express my views.
Express your views all you want. You wrote it right on Danny's script.
I figured he wouldn't miss it that way.
How would you feel if Danny wrote his viewpoints all over your artwork?
He does. All writers do, every month. Danny's a big boy. He can take it.
Well, I'm not going to be the referee getting in the middle of you two.
You don't have to. I'm quitting.
Steve, stop.
It's too late. It's over. I'm leaving.
Well, Steve, I'm sorry. Look, we thank you for all your hard work. I guess I'll give you a call soon.
You don't have to.
Well, are you saying that we aren't friends anymore?
Yes.
That things are just black or white?
Things are.
Okay then.
Goodbye, Dick.
The chocolate cake was delicious.
Sorry to have missed it.
You should be. What are you going to do now, Steve?
Tuberculosis is acting up.
You need to rest.
I can't.
You want me to go get your parents?
No. Please. That's happened already.
You started working again for Charlton.
That was the happiest time in my life.
Some people at that time described you as happy-go-lucky.
Why wouldn't I be? I knew who I was. Thanks to you.
You figured out your identity.
I loved working there. They used to have these girls there that did color separation. I would go in and make them all laugh. And give them gifts and candy.
You were still creating characters all along.
I never stopped doing that.
None were ever as popular as Spider-Man or even Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Does it bother you?
What? Not getting credit for being one of the 2 people who created them?
That.
No. Because I accepted the terms I was given. But I would like to be acknowledged for my contributions, exactly as
Nothing more.
nothing more. Lee deserves the other half.
He does.
Yes. For Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. Even though I may not agree with them, Spider-Man wouldn't be who he is without the both of us.
Are you sad about anything?
No, I just...
Yes.
Every so often, I wonder where I would have gone with them.
But facts are facts.
No looking back.
You were working at Charlton.
I was working for a lot of smaller companies, too. The work wasn't as vital as my previous work, but I was happy.
You even did work for Martin Goodman's startup company, Atlas Seaboard Comics. Funny, you working with him.
Why? I had no problem with Martin. I did with Lee.
Probably because you never met Martin.
Even today, Martin could walk past me on the street, and I wouldn't even be able to identify him. Halfway through the 1960s. I need money. I decided to go over to DC for some work. Some hat work.
You worked on a comic book for them called Stalker. And then Shane, the Changing Man. Neither promoted the objectivism viewpoint.
I did it for the money. But not to worry. In 1975, I published the second and third Mr. A stories.
Delightful.
I loved writing and drawing them. Mr. A. Everything I ever wanted, all in one character.
You could do both. Support yourself with commercial work and then publish Mr. A as well.
Every year I would try to get a Mr. A story out. Some years I just couldn't. But he was always present in my mind.
The years passed like the pages in a comic book. You become more and more reclusive.
I wasn't interested in interviews. I wanted the work to speak for itself.
Spider-Man was so long ago now.
It's the 1970s. I worked on a comic book. The Joker #3 with Denny O'Neil.
I thought you were never going to work with him again.
By no means. Dick Giordano? Yes. But Denny never did anything to me.
The act of creation.
That's all I know.
People keep trying to interview you.
I'm not interested in that. Steve Ditko is the brand name.
Just like that, the 1970s are gone, and they have forgotten about you. They started throwing you some terrible jobs.
I had to make a living.
Sure, but a Transformers coloring book? It should be a vehicle or a robot. Not both.
You have to do what you have to do. But boy, can I hack.
You are following the example of my character of John Galt from my novel Atlas Shrugged.
I'd rather do that.
Just as my character asked, who is John Galt? You are asking yourself, who is Steve Ditko?
I know who I am.
Of course you do. You are him.
John Galt was an architect. I am an artist. We both believe in the power and the glory of the human mind. I use my mind for myself. Hawk and Dove, Beware the Creeper, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. I refuse to embrace mediocrity.
People don't want to hear that, Steve. They will separate themselves from your life.
That's already happened.
Has it?
Only people who are alone and desperate draw a Transformers coloring book.
True. I died in 1982.
March 6th. In a hurricane. I was very sad.
It's up to you, Steve. Make them see the light.
I'll never stop doing that.
You keep producing your own personal comic books, with Robin Snyder publishing them.
Some are comic books. I publish some essays as well. The world needs to be informed.
The more you publish, the more they forget about you.
And that's what happens. I was still at my artist table, just like I was in Jerry Robinson's class. Just like I was when I got my first published work. Looking up at the sign I put up that just says "Think." The publishers know where I am. Just they are hiring me less and less.
By the 1990s, you were a has-been.
I was a has-been in everyone's eyes long before that.
Don't go to any comic book conventions to raise your profile.
I went to one comic book convention.
When was that?
July 26, 1967. The first ever New York Comic Con. It was awful.
I'm sure it was.
I took Flo Steinberg, Lee's secretary at the time. Look at all these people.
They're all here because of you, Steve. Well, partially because of you.
They don't work in the field. I mean, he's only in the office 3 days a week. There really is no bullpen, it's all a lie.
Lighten up, Steve. Say hi to your fans.
It'll just be awkward. Or I'll just wind up falling down the stairs as the old Ditko look.
Well, I think you're pretty swell, Mr. Ditko.
How so?
You're here with me.
Why didn't we ever get together?
I liked you.
You did?
Yes, I loved when you came into the office.
Yeah, to watch him yell at me like he was running the Daily Bugle, and I was Peter Parker, no doubt. He used to call you his girl Friday.
Why did you hate that convention so much?
Few fans came over to me. They had envy. To them, I had an incredible job. But it wasn't true what he was telling them.
You drew the program for that convention.
I did.
It's a beautiful picture.
I wasn't interested in pictures.
You answered fair questions.
But no panels.
No panels or presentations.
Would you like to grab dinner later?
Steve, we never got together.
I know. I was just hoping.
Hoping for what?
Hoping this memory would change.
Reality is what reality is. You know that better than anyone.
I do.
I'm marrying someone else. Now come on.
Where are we going?
To the top of the building.
Why?
To watch the sunset.
Did it really happen that way?
Maybe. Either way, it's a good ending to this memory. Follow me.
You have no interest in comic book fandom.
I'm happy to do my work. That's about it.
You also did illustrations for the brochure, the San Diego Comic Book Convention for the year 1972, and then 4 more for the years 1975 through 1978.
I never went.
Why would you?
New York is my home.
You still got to work at Marvel Comics.
Yes. But never with Lee.
Stan the Man. Excelsior!
That was always a silly name.
You created Speedball there. Then, your last new character for Marvel Comics, Squirrel Girl.
I thought that one had legs. Really did.
It should have been the next Spider-Man.
I blame the marketing department.
At least you're not bitter.
Never.
What are you then?
Resolved.
It's the 1990s now.
And I keep working straight along.
Did you ever see any of your old friends?
None.
Did you ever wonder what happened to them? Jack Kirby?
I haven't seen Jack in years.
Where did he go?
I haven't followed him too much. He should have left with me in the 1960s when I asked him to.
You asked him.
I did.
So you're leaving?
Yes.
Quitting? Just like that?
You know it's not just like that, Jack.
I should go too.
If we both left, it would make a statement.
A statement of what? Nobody cares that much about comic books.
We do.
I just don't think I'm ready yet. Staley isn't a bad guy.
Personally, no. Professionally,
I can't begin.
if we both left, it would change the industry forever.
You're gonna have to do it without me, Steve.
I will.
I'll be rooting for you.
I appreciate that.
No? I've never seen an artist that draws quite like you, Steve.
I can say the same thing about you, Jack.
Comic books will break your heart, kid.
Did you see see each other after that?
Here and there. In 1993, Top Comics reached out to me to work on Secret City Saga, a comic based on Jack's concepts. That and Captain Glory.
They were mildly received.
That's an understatement. What did you think of them?
I'm no comic book critic, but they looked like characters that somebody found in Jack Kirby's garbage cans.
1990s were a strange time for comics.
Did you ever see Stan again?
Let's not talk about that.
Steve, I know you heard from him again.
We're going to just ignore that.
You can't ignore everything forever.
I'm pretty sure I can.
We'll see.
I'm talking to a dead person. I'm pretty sure my denial runs fairly deep.
We should talk about what happened in the 1990s.
Maybe later.
So, what would you like to talk about, Steve?
Objectivism. I self-published comics from Robin Snipe.
They're tough to get. You can only get them through the mail.
I'm not a computer guy. This whole internet thing isn't for me.
That's when people started showing up at your door.
Yeah.
You never were a person who wanted fame.
People would send comics for you to sign. You would send them back a letter explaining why you don't do that.
Flo, your part is over.
You dodged any attempts of people taking a picture. You were unavailable.
I'm sorry, Flo. Your scene is over. I never have to see you again.
Really? Well, we could still go look at that sunset.
There's nothing more to discuss.
You are right to do that.
Yes.
You should be like that with everyone.
No common sense.
You did the same thing with Dick Giordano.
I was done with him in the 60s.
No, you weren't. You saw him again in the 1980s.
I blocked that memory out.
Steve.
Dick.
Steve, we'd like to make you an offer to work on Captain Adam. We here at DC Comics have acquired the rights.
I like Captain Adam.
Great. Why don't you take a look at what we have planned?
I don't like the storyline.
Let me guess. Because it doesn't have objectivism in it.
No, because superheroes shouldn't take the place of the U.S. military.
That's what we're going with.
Then I'll politely pass.
Okay. What about Firestorm? We've got some redesigns on him. Do you want to take a look at that?
I'll politely pass.
Why?
Because superheroes shouldn't take the place of the U.S.
This is a
military.
different book.
Same meaning, though.
You're impossible to work with. Everybody knows it.
And yet you still want to work with me.
So I don't have anything that you'll say yes to, do I?
I don't think so.
Well, then I guess we have nothing left to discuss.
I guess we don't.
This is like watching the greatest hits of people who are mad at Steve Ditko.
They don't understand.
They don't.
They should read my essays.
The ones who self-publish.
They'll explain everything to them.
These people are morally wrong, and you are morally right. So you do these publications to show them.
It'll explain everything. The world needs to know. It's who I am.
Hi, I'm John.
Hello?
I'm one of the many people that show up at your doorstep and knock.
I really need to take my name out of the phone book.
Wow. Wow, I have so many questions.
I won't answer any of them, John. Goodbye.
Shoot.
Wow. Can you sign it?
No!
Wow, he is so cool!
So many tried. Later on, even Neil Gaiman and Jonathan Ross show up.
Hi! Hi, I'm Greg.
I let in who I can. I have my work to do.
talk to us. You never sign anything. But you give us comics.
They're important to share.
You let me come over a few times. On one of the last times I was here, I noticed a piece of illustration board leaning up against the wall, slashed to pieces. I asked if you would turn it over.
I gave you a look. I didn't want to.
I noticed the comics code stamp on it. I didn't think you were going to turn it over.
But I did. It was a piece of original artwork from the comic Journey into Mystery from the late 1960s.
Steve! I will go down to the local art supply store and get you a cutting board that's so smart that when you cut on it, it mends itself. And you'll have the finest cutting board in the block.
No.
Steve, geez, that's worth a fair amount of, at the very least. Damn, Steve! That's an important piece of publication history in the terms of comics.
I then pointed and said, lift that curtain up.
I did. There's a stack of original artwork from Marvel Comics standing vaguely about 1.5 feet tall. Can I look at these?
No.
I'm standing next to artwork worth 100, maybe even 200 grand even. And you're using them as cutting boards.
I have no attachment to them. The best work I'm doing is now, not work I did 40 years ago.
I enjoyed our time together.
Did that really happen?
Who's to say? Greg wrote about it, but nothing ever written about me over the years may or may not be true. Not even this play.
Your old friend Eric Stanton died in 1999.
I always liked him.
What about Stan?
Who?
Hi, Mr. Ditko. My name is Leslie. I'm a fan.
Why do these people keep showing up at my door?
Can you tell me why you love Spider-Man?
No, I'm sorry.
Damn it, so close!
I'm leaving.
Why?
My work here is done.
But who will I talk to?
Yourself, using my principles, my theories, my philosophy. I trust you are ready.
I'll keep on making Mr. A stories.
I know you will.
I'll miss our discussions. I'll still have them with myself. I'll wrestle over the important issues. Morality will always win.
Yes, it will. After everything, you will always be John Galt.
Always.
Go see Stan. Farewell.
The truth is, I did see Stan again. In late 1991, Marvel Comics reached out to me to work on a comic book, Ravage 2099. It was a comic book that Stan was going to write. So, I made my way over to the Marvel offices.
Steve,
Mr.
how are you doing?
I'm well.
It's good to see you.
Likewise.
Really?
What?
A handshake?
I thought it'd be proper.
Come here, this is how we do things here.
I'll remember that.
Have you had a chance to read my synopsis?
Not yet, may I?
Do you think we can do anything with it?
It's raw. But I love the futuristic element of it. It would need somebody on it with a strong design sense.
That's why I thought of you.
You wrote this for me.
I did. I still write a lot of things for you, Steve.
I see.
I'd love to work with you.
I'm very flattered you asked.
So what do we do with it?
Let's sit down and have a discussion.
And we did. We sat for a while going back and forth.
Like nothing had ever happened.
The rhythm we had when we first worked together had reappeared.
We picked up right where we left off in the 1960s.
Some people just click.
Some people do.
We were young men again, creating a comic book for all the world to read.
I'm afraid I have to turn it down, Stan.
I figured you might.
Do you want to know why?
You don't have to tell me.
Well, I don't agree with some of the philosophical underpinnings.
Of course you don't, Steve.
It was really great to see you.
Thank you for coming in.
You look good.
You look the same.
People say I'm happier.
You look like you.
I am me.
The door is open. Anytime you want to work with us, the door is open.
And with you, Stan.
Always. I'll always work with you, Steve.
Thank you for inviting me.
No. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you.
Was this the last time we saw each other?
We saw each other a few times after.
I'd like to remember us like this.
You can.
For a moment.
It wasn't the last time I heard from you, though.
No. It was that article in Comic Book Marketplace.
Yes.
You were talking about your inspirations for creating Amazing Spider-Man number 33. What made you think up the story?
I can't believe you read that.
I read more than you know. I told them in my letter, Stan had no idea what was in my plotted scripts until I took in the penciled story, the cover, my scripts. And Sol Brodsky took the material from me and brought them into Stan's office. So I had to leave without seeing or talking to Stan.
That's not true.
You don't remember.
I do.
You don't. A few months later, Time Magazine identified you as the creator of Spider-Man.
You showed up on their letters pages, too.
Yes, I wrote them. Spider-Man's existence needed a concrete visual identity. It was a collaboration of writer-editor Stan Lee and artist Steve Ditko as co-creators.
I saw it.
I know you did.
And I told you.
I remember our conversation.
I do, too.
And I told you the same thing I'm going to tell you now. Having an idea is nothing until it becomes a physical thing. It took me to draw the strip, to give it life, to actually make it something tangible.
Well, I think the person who has the idea is the person who creates it.
No, because I drew it. Steve, I drew it, Stan. It's me on the page. I know nothing else. It's my life. It's my life. Don't you dare try to tell me anything different. We both created it. It's you and me. I'll never try to take away or argue your credit. Don't argue mine.
Okay, fine. I see it means a lot to you. And that's fine with me. I'll tell everyone you're the co-creator.
I don't believe you.
I'm going to. You can show everybody if you want.
So you write me a letter.
Yes. August 18th, 1999. To whom it may concern, I wish to go on the record with the following statement. I have always considered Steve Ditko to be the co-creator of Spider-Man. From the first day I told him my idea for a shy high school science student who had been bitten by a radioactive spider, thus giving him the ability to climb walls and shoot webs, Steve took to it like a duck to water. Steve's illustrated version of Peter Parker / Spider-Man and his coterie of supporting characters was more compelling and dramatic than I ever dared dream it would be. From his first panel, Steve established and created the perfect mood and gestalt for Spider-Man. Also, it goes without saying that Steve's costume design was an actual masterpiece of imagination. Thanks to Steve Ditko, Spidey's costume has become one of the world's most recognizable visual icons. Nor can I forget to credit him with the many, many plot ideas he furnished as the comic increased in popularity. So adept was he at storytelling that eventually he did all the plotting and illustrations, while I, of course, continued to provide the dialogue and captions. I write this to ensure that Steve Ditko credit to which he is so justly entitled. Sincerely, Stanley. What do you think?
I take offense that you use the word considered.
What?
I am or I am not. Things are what they are. There is only black or white.
I can see you're upset.
I don't accept this, ever.
All right, Steve, I'm throwing my hands out.
Let me say this in a language you will understand. When people read Marvel Comics, they would find a mistake. You would tell them in the letters column that you would send them a no prize. Well, this letter, it's a no prize, Stan. So no, thanks.
Okay, Steve. I'm letting it go.
You're happy. You got what you wanted.
No.
I'll write about it in my self-published comic books.
I know, Steve.
It is what is moral and what is right. And that should be the way of the world. You made all this money off of my idea. And I got nothing for it.
I didn't get all the money you think I got. I just played ball. I didn't get near what they were worth. I wish you didn't go out the way you did, but you did. I wish we were on the same path.
What path? The path of Excelsior? The path of Enough Said?
I insisted they put your name on the Spider-Man films.
I heard it was director Sam Raimi who insisted they do so.
Marvel tried to write you a bunch of checks with large amounts on them.
Unless they paid me for every action figure, every pair of underoos, every Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade balloon, if they paid me royalties for everything that was created with the image I drew, then I would accept it. But it's all or nothing, and it's not all, so it's nothing.
Okay, Steve.
You sabotaged me. Even now.
Whatever you feel, Steve. After I wrote the letter, we never had contact again.
I know what you said. On the documentary for the BBC, Jonathan Ross did it. You said it. Confirmed it. You may have written me that letter, but you didn't for a second believe it. You said it right on the documentary. You always thought you came up with him yourself.
Whatever you want to think, Steve. Go right ahead. If you want to be known as the co-creator of Spider-Man, I think you deserve it.
You don't believe it, Stan! You never did.
I can't win with you! You want to know what I think, and this I know you won't believe.
I won't.
Fine. Don't believe it. But I'll tell you anyway. I loved working with you. I loved what we came up with together. Your idea, my idea, doesn't matter. If one of us tried to do it without the other, Spider-Man would never exist as he does today. By ourselves, we had talent. Working together, we made magic. I was sad when you were off the boat.
Enough said, Stan.
What?
Enough said.
I never thought it would last this long. It's amazing when you look back. Well, time to slip back into reality. I'll never forget you. Until next time, true believer! Excelsior!
all people, places, drawings. Amazing. All in the rearview mirror. Pages, panels, characters, circling the planet, the landscapes, the dimensions. In the end, there are certain truths to live by. I draw and create the images racing in my mind. Today, tomorrow, forever. Only through black and white principles can a man distinguish between good and evil. Those principles guide his basic choice of action. Man can choose to accept to be dishonest, corrupt. But that choice only leads to evil, to self-destruction. The truth cannot contradict itself and also be a lie. The thing is what it is. It has a specific nature and purpose. A is A. A is A.
God of a small affair, to the girl with the mousy hair, but her mommy is yelling no, and her daddy has told her to go, but her friend is nowhere to be seen. Now she walks through her sunken dream to the seats with the clearest view, and she's hooked to the silver screen. But the film is a sad